Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Mike back at it again with another story. And this one is a crazy one, man. So, let me tell you about the time I met a 14-year-old drug dealer. So, it all started as a normal day. I remember it was a Saturday afternoon. I was just sitting in my room doing nothing, playing video games, watching YouTube, the works. And I was basically just chilling. But then suddenly somebody rang my doorbell and I quickly jumped out of bed and ran to the door. Because usually when someone rings my house's doorbell, it's one of my friends. And as you could probably guess, my friend Jeff, the same person from my last story actually, and another one of my friends who I'll call Ivor. I don't know, man. It's harder to think of these fake names than it sounds. But other than those two, there was another guy that was there that I had never seen before. This wasn't too weird because Jeff brings random people to my house all the time, and my parents don't really mind, so it didn't bother me. I quickly introduced myself to him, and then he told me his name was Franklin. Yeah, that's a good name. So we all went into my backyard where we sat on my trampoline and just talked for a little bit. I didn't know this at the time, but Franklin had weed and alcohol on him. Thank God my parents didn't notice. But moving on with the story, we were all just sitting on the trampoline, talking about girls and video games and more girls. I don't know, man. I don't have a photographic memory like all the other storytime YouTubers. So after a while, Jeff started whispering to Franklin, but I couldn't hear what they were saying. But I didn't really care and just went on talking with Ivor. Then Jeff suggested that we should leave my house so we could go to the park to do things. Again, at the time, I was completely oblivious to all this stuff, so I told my parents we were leaving and we left on our way. While we were walking, though, Franklin pulled out a lighter and started playing with it. This was when I started to suspect that something was up because no one just has a lighter on them for no reason. And on top of that, Jeff and Ivor had just started smoking weed, which, just so you know, I do not condone doing any kind of drug in any way, shape, or form. I have to this day never smoking weed or taken acid or shrooms or heroin. The only drugs I've taken are alcohol and caffeine. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. So we get to this park and Franklin starts doing freaking skateboard tricks on the damn sidewalk for no reason. Apparently he wants to be like a professional skateboarder or something. And he actually has a sponsor that provides him with free boards and stuff, which is actually pretty damn cool that he's doing something with his life. But as I'd soon find out, he was actually doing some other things in his life as well. Franklin was also like the stereotypical cool skater boy type of person. Like, he had amazing drip. Like, even though I don't support what he does, his style was out of this world, man. And he was talking about how he gets a ton of girls. I don't know if that was true or if he was just showing off or what. But anyway, it didn't really matter because I was getting bored as hell while I was sitting there on a bench, basically doing nothing and just wasting my time. But right about then, Franklin pulls out a little vial/capsule filled with brown liquid, and I soon found out it was whiskey, cinnamon whiskey to be specific. Anyway, he offered it to us, and even though I said before that I don't condone doing any drugs, hey, alcohol isn't really a drug. And to be honest, I was actually curious about what it would taste like. So I just grabbed the bottle and took a swig. And for some reason, it tasted spicy, like as if I'd just done the cinnamon challenge, but in a liquid form. Even though it was super hot, well, in the spicy kind of way, it still tasted low-key kind of good. So I took another sip, and it was also good. But anyways, after everyone had drunk some, Franklin pulled out a little baggie full of weed, and he was talking about smoking it. Now, I know this is kind of off topic, but I have to ask, how the hell are kids my age getting access to drugs? Like, do they have an older supplier or are they somehow growing it themselves? Like, it makes no sense. If y'all know how these kids are getting access to drugs, then let me know in the comments because I think it is totally ridiculous. But anyways, going back to the story, we go behind a dirt mound type of thing that was nearby the park we had gone to. And my friend Ivor was acting like smoking weed was like hiding a body. I swear if he could have, he would have pulled out a damn invisibility cloak so that they could smoke. And when I say they, I really mean they, because I myself was not at all interested in smoking weed because I don't know, man. Weed to me is just nasty. Like, I just have no desire to smoke it. I told my friends that I didn't want to smoke, and they didn't really care that much. I mean, Franklin offered me like 5 times, but it's not like they were peer pressuring me or anything. After they were done with that, we went to Jeff's house and we played video games until I had to go home, which was at 9 o'clock because my parents are mad strict, which sucked, but it is what it is, I guess. Anyways, guys, that's the end of the story. I hope y'all enjoyed it. However, before I go, I want to talk a little bit about Franklin. So I kind of always guessed that he had a bad home life because usually when a 14-year-old is selling drugs, they probably don't have the best parents. Then a few weeks later, Jeff was telling me that he had to run away from home. I don't want to say any more because I don't want to expose his personal life, but if there's anything you can learn from the story, it would be to never do drugs. Because if you ever do drugs, you will overdose and you will die. Like the video if you got that reference. But anyways, yeah, that's the end of the story, and I'll be back with another video real soon. Peace.